Yo, 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 and welcome to another episode of Roy's podcast. I'm Roy Spencer.
I'm Johnny Rodriguez, and this is Roy's podcast, and we are live, people. All right, we're
Oh,
having a
yeah,
little technical difficulties there, but we're good now. So, Roy, the world has been on fire.
it's actually offline.
Oh, that's just a little delay, I believe, because yeah, no, it says excellent connection.
So, is it online?
You know what? Let's ask one of our audience members. Greg. Greg, how you doing, Greg? That's fantastic, Greg.
He
Thank you very
says,
much.
he says, yo,
Does he see us?
what?
Does he see us?
I don't know. Oh, I can see us. I can see us
There
now.
we go. All
Okay,
right. It's a little delay. Yeah.
it's a little delay.
Okay, people. Sorry about that.
Yeah, just we had to catch up on it quick, but now we can fully hear you and we can communicate with you guys as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And so we are good to go. All right. So, Roy, again, starting back from the start. World's
Oh,
on
okay.
fire.
World
Stock
is on
market's
fire.
on fire.
Everything
Crypto's
on
on
fire.
fire. NFT on fire. What's going on?
I think the world needs to know what is going on here. We've got stocks tumbling from all-time highs.
Unbelievable.
Stuff like Microsoft and Google down something like 10% in a month. Where are we
Mm-hmm.
living right now? This is an unheard of time. Yeah, run for cover. Run for cover because they're out here shooting. And so we need to take a straight deep dive in and see what's working. So at the beginning of the year, I told you guys that I was reconstructing my to handle these tough times. Said we're not doing the TQQQ anymore. That's going to be used for limited times, and I do post about times that I do be getting in on it in the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
So the Discord is essential, people. That is up and running, fully ready to go. We've got option bots in there. You can measure out what you're looking at. You can look at stuff on different charts, Fibonacci sequences, stuff like that with stocks and options. You can also do that with some of the cryptos as well. And we've also got live news being put in by bots as well. So that happens for Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Evergrow coin. So come check it out, interact with us, and tell us what you like and what you want to hear more of
And
on
Luna.
here. Oh yeah, we're gonna definitely Luna. So just
Roy's been a key element to this all, people. So we have Roy to thank for this because he's becoming somewhat of a tech wizard when it comes to this
thanks,
kind of stuff.
thanks, Johnny. But I just want to get the people involved and really just let you guys know that we're doing this for y'all. So we
Mm-hmm.
want to create like a great group around us of people that are passionate about the market and hope to grow together. But
Mm-hmm.
I guess coming full circle back around to like the market and how it's doing is we got stuff falling from the ceiling, and I just want to dive right in and show you guys of what we're looking at here. So, um,
Because because the last episode when we were talking, I believe we touched on TQQQ and just kind of like because up until 2021 or 2022, it had okay, yeah, perfect. It was it was doing pretty well. It was a more of a safer bet, but
mhm.
as of lately, it seems like something's been happening. It's been fumbling.
Definitely not. And if you guys can see my screen right now, you'll see in the 1 month performance stocks like Microsoft on fire, down nearly 6.5%. Got Google falling from the sky. What's this doing all the way down here? Nearly 4.5, 5%. Amazon taking a hit down 8%.
Oh my
What's
god.
going on here? Home Depot? People selling Home Depot? Are you kidding?
Yeah,
Probably one of the better names to be riding it this time.
for real.
But for what we have going on, we have stocks like Ford, our buddy Nico's lockdown, and they
Shout out.
keep kicking butt. This is really the highest price that we've seen Ford in our lifetimes. So shout out to Ozog for doing what he does. We love it, man. Keep
He's a
it
very
pumping.
active member of the community as well. Nick Ozog.
Yes, great guy. So here's what we're looking at, and that's what we've been seeing out of it lately. But what I really want to touch in on you guys with today is I told you at the beginning of the year we're going to make a new portfolio of stocks that we're going to be looking to like perform in this market very well, and also be something that you can get through like this chaos with. And part of it starts with the story over here with like oil and gas, but we're not going to really touch on that too much today. Instead, what I want to show you guys is this thing called Crown Holdings. So, Crown Holdings is a company that's been they part of the distribution of consumer goods, and they're in on the packaging side for a more in-depth analysis of what they do. They engage in the design and manufacture the sale of packaging products and equipment for consumer goods. So, why does this work?
Yeah, what does that mean?
They package our consumer goods and get them out to us.
So
What has been, yes, and things that have been working here in this time frame have been more consumer defensive stocks, financial stocks, and energy stocks. And those have been doing good for reasons that consumer defensive stocks, like consumer goods and growth, when the consumer has high demand, which they do, but also in times when stock market technology stocks aren't doing so hot, just like they're doing now with examples like the QQQ and the TQQQ taking massive hits. These are the stocks that people are flocking to because they're safe. Also,
right.
other stocks that we're going to touch on Wells Fargo, but people have been flocking to the banks. They're the best bank because of how they had their balance sheet and their income statements aligned as they're kind of rolling through the market. They had them better set up than their competition, and they've been the real success coming out of the bank story. But people were not done with the banks yet because the banks are thriving on interest rates going up. Depending on how many times we see them raise this year, that's better or worse for the banks. The more that we get, the better it will be for the banks. Higher interest rates means more profit for them. But starting off, just know that the consumer is strong. We have good pockets of here, and as we see them here, they're breaking out fundamentally sound through their technical pattern here, where they're actually breaking above their all-time high and shooting up through the cross up here. So this could be start of something big for them. Good company overall, and
So
happy to be a part of them.
yeah, and so like with that chart, how would you say like you're able to like I saw that the line, that indicator. What it
Hmm.
for someone that doesn't know like necessarily how to read one of those charts, how are you able to tell that it's going to continue to grow? Are you basing it off more like, these other sectors, technology sector? Is that kind of how you're determining that?
So I'm just saying with the increase of interest rates, the tech sector kind of being, you know, smashed to
Mm-hmm.
pieces, and people always trying to be in the market, find a place to put their money to grow.
Right.
You got to disperse it away from the technology stocks, and that's kind of what we've been doing here. I told you guys at the end of the year 2022 or 2021, it was a technology heavy centered market, and we had our foot on the gas. Now we can't really say that anymore. Technology sector's been getting absolutely mashed, and if you're in the way of that, you're taking a beating this week. It's just all there is to say. And I mean, with these uncertain rate hikes in the future, this is not the time to be all in on anything. As we talked about at the beginning of the year, we're going to DCA into our positions, dollar cost average, and then walk and get to our good investments as the year goes on. We're in no hurry right now to get in on any of these names, except for we can play options, which if you guys have been in the Discord, you've seen me interact and talk about some of the options I'm buying and why, and just really take advantage of these short-term movements. This would have been something today that you really wanted to be a part of, because this 3.2% increase to the upside would have been a real juicy return on some of the call options. But that was mostly based around this being an all-time high, and they challenged it here. They challenged it here. They challenged it here, and they'd always been able to rebound, and then they went above it. But that's not anything that I had bought any like sort of calls on. That's just something that I'd been holding as a consumer defensive item to like fight the inflation that has been had during
Gotcha.
this time.
And if you guys want, just now there is a link in the chat to join the Discord. We highly recommend it. That's where really a lot of the content and the good chunk of the information that you guys hear from here is in depth. We go farther in and whatnot. So
Yep, and then if you guys have questions for us, we're able to write you back and give you more custom like analysis and kind of like chat with you guys. We love interacting with you guys, anyways. So just hop in, and
yeah,
we would love to meet you guys and talk with you guys outside of the show as well. But I guess past that, the markets, they've been on fire in some key areas. So at the beginning, we showed you that heat map of just how bad most of the stock market was. You see over the 1 month that things have been mostly red. But here we can see that we identified Crown Holdings. We also here have another great gem, which had been something that we put in the stocks for the beginning of the year, is Wells Fargo. So Wells Fargo, a bank stock,
wow.
they've been kind of killing it ever since last year. So we're going to get a little bit more of a look. So they kind of bottomed out. They didn't do much for 2020 because 2020 we kept rates at nearly zero,
Right.
and just to get the economy going. 2021 spurred the beginning of a new era. We're saying that we had to raise interest rates sometime, and people got excited about it. And so we saw these bank stocks grow. And now we have talks that the Fed might be behind schedule. We have inflation getting out of control. Just go get gas. That's way higher than it was last year. Go get a can of soup. That's way higher than it was last year. And that's hurting the regular consumer. So it's the people that are not in the stock market's turn to get an advantage right now. And they need to cut interest rates. That might hurt the stock market in general, with especially some of these tech stocks that are really, really high on their valuations. But that might be good for banks in general because they're able to push through this. And actually, at times when rates are higher, they're able to generate more money from doing loans with people and stuff along those lines. But Wells Fargo particularly has been one of the key performers in this industry. It has been the best, performing better than almost any of the other banks in the U.S. sector that they compete with. And that's mainly just been because they have a solid financial balance sheet, and they've been keeping costs low, and that's what's been hurting the other like banks that have been trying to compete against them. They've caught fire as well, but they haven't had the success to which Wells Fargo has had, and that's why we see them continuing to push higher and higher. Not saying that this one's like completely going to take off for the rest of the year, but this is a good name to have on your watch list.
And so looking at that chart, like today, the most recent, it looks like they're about to, I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Like, is it about to cross over that the purple line there?
This
About,
like blue with the orange with the purple.
yeah.
It looks like it might cross over, but I mean,
And what would that mean for us?
I don't know. I'm not saying that like it means anything to like my knowledge. I mean, it might mean something, but also I don't see that happening as they like continue the upside. The only way for this to catch this is if like it turns down and this continues going up, because it's the 50-day moving average compared to the 20-day moving average, and that would move down. But it would mean more of a drawdown, and at that point, because we've been riding it from the beginning of the year, which hasn't done bad for us thus far. If we started here and then we rode this up 5 or 6%, that's actually one of the names that you get to be happy about. So rock and roll with that. Good old stock.
Okay. You can be happy with that.
Yeah, we'd love to be happy with that, but we've got to do what we do, and we got to be able to generate money in this market. And things aren't just like from the overall thing that I'm figuring out. Things just aren't as exciting right now. This is a hard time for people. You can't just lay your money into the tech market and be like, all right, let's rock and roll right here.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt. You can't just play these games anymore. So what we're showing you guys here is more of like some safer plays that will get you that like return this year, but it's safe. And another name that I'd like to say that I added to the list, that is still something on my list that I wouldn't mind holding through the entire year, is Boston Scientific. So, as we can see, a lot like the last company that we looked at, kind of tracing their highs, hitting it once, and now challenging it again to their highs. Potentially, they could break out to the upside, just like we saw in the last company that we looked at. Not saying that that's going to happen, but these people are definitely a defensive name. We see more people getting in on it come the end of November, start of December, which is when the trade shifted away from tech more towards defensive names. So we have Boston Scientific, which is a medical device company, and specifically a more specific look on what they do.
And that is BSX.
BSS, Boston Scientific. They engage in the development, manufacturing, and marketing of medical devices that are used in intervention medical spaces. Yeah, and so basically they look at rhythm and neuro and cardiovascular and med surge. Lots of stuff going on there. They're basically just like a big medical devices company. I've heard good things about healthcare this year, especially after it got slammed last year, with people kind of being, past COVID, looking to potentially get out and do some, body checkouts. There's this argument that potentially people will feel a little bit more safe going to get, medical checkups on the regular if COVID's not such a problem. So maybe these devices are a little bit more secure for the future as people, start for a higher demand for that. Not saying that this is going to be the most exciting stock this year. Honestly, I think it's going to just trend out like this and ride its ups and its lows, but I don't see it taking massive losses this year, and I think it's a nice defensive stock that we might see single digits, double digits return, in the low.
So a safe.
Yeah, yeah. So that's nothing that we need to worry about because safer right now is better. We have if we look at companies quick like GameStop, AMC, those are all dead. And I'll show you guys what I here with that and that.
Do you believe Wall Street Bets will do anything like to help them anymore, or are they?
I mean, can they help them? Look at this. It's abandoned ship time, and it's
Oh
been
yeah,
an abandoned time. The second high here. It's sinking. There's really nothing that we can do to help it. I mean, basically what we had going on here, in my opinion, was the government threw a bunch of money into the economy, and every American that claimed for it and got it, I think if you were unemployed at the time of the beginning stimulus checks to the end, you would have collected around $3,200. That's $3,200 past your rent that people are just able to go. If they're meeting their rent needs and they just have extra cash, why not go throw it at the market? I think some of these people got involved like that. And that only works so long until, you're riding it here and then, you're like, I made some good profits. I should probably take some profits. And then these people are, I should probably take some profits. And now we see interest rates rising and people are like, yeah, we should take some profits. Not saying that this is a name that I'm going to short, because just at the time that you're going to go short this, they bounce up and then you're hit with like a double-digit loss. But, I'm just going to let this ride and do it. But really what I want to show you guys is some alternatives to playing, getting those high return potential multiples, but also, staying away from things that are going to drown you. And so this has been a thing that I've been looking at this year. It's the Power REIT. So these people are in they're in charge of yeah, they're very very small for their like volume that go on a daily basis. Their average volume is 46,000. Their market cap is 233 million. But basically, what these people do is they're a holding company. They own a portfolio of real estate assets, which are in the transportation and energy space. And they also expand their real estate portfolio to the controlled environmental agriculture for the cultivation of food and cannabis. So they're kind of a place that will accumulate real estate and also put their like thing their this REIT will put their like resources towards making the production of food and cannabis. So that's been a great play thus far. These people have really been killing it. And years time, this
They've
is
been
up.
killing it. It looks like.
Yeah, really killing it. And over a year's time, this thing's up nearly 100%. They're right. So with like how they've been trading, they've been trading in this nice funnel for a while, hitting their upper limits here and then bouncing back down steadily. They potentially could get through this as the economy is a little shaky right now.
Yeah.
There's a chance they bounce off of this 20-day moving average. But if not, I think that it gets caught by the 50-day moving average. And for those of you guys that haven't been looking at this one or don't know about it, I definitely encourage you guys to check it out. Potentially get in on a position now. I've started a position, but I'm also on the side just in case it hits the 633 level or somewhere higher above that, or bounces all the way down to the bottom stretch of it down here at like the 58, 57 mark. Just because of just how demanding its performance has been over the last year and how crucial to like their strategy. They've actually since 2019, I checked them out. They have like a focus now on actually picking up and merging.
Oh wow.
And getting acquisitions going. So they're growing like crazy. Don't know if they can sustain 97 to 100% growth this year, but definitely a good name to keep on your watch list.
Hell yeah. Also, we have a quick question, Roy, from
Okay.
a fellow listener, Greg. So Greg asks, hey guys, joined a little late. Sorry. No worries, of course.
No worries.
He said, if I missed anything, but was wondering what you think of Microsoft's future in light of the Activision news.
Wow. If that wasn't great timing, I don't know what was, because that was honestly the next thing that I had to talk about on my list here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that actually helps us transition into the next thing that we're going to talk about. So, Greg, loaded question. Keep them coming, buddy. But
shout out to you, Greg.
Shout out to you, Greg. But as Greg aforementioned, he knew that we were headed this way. I'm going to show you guys Microsoft. So, Microsoft, this big giant that's been really rocking and rolling since like the beginning of last year. They kind of rode it for a while, but then continued growth, little pullback here, and rode the wave. But now they've become this giant company, and I'll see if I can see where their market cap is here. Yeah, $2.2 trillion, guys. It's
Wow.
a little bit of money there. Some people have definitely liked their style here, which is so funny because they keep such a stockpile on cash that they're able to just pick up something for around $70 billion just and not even miss the cash. That's right. People, they picked up Activision Blizzard, which is a high, great, just
World of
gaming
Warcraft we're
company.
talking here.
Yeah, World of Warcraft. Like, basically, if you play video games, you've been playing. You probably played one of their games. They're everywhere. They honestly make so many of the games that actually are played on something like the Xbox, which Microsoft owns. And this should be an amazing acquisition. They were a little down after the acquisition, and that's just normal because after people pay for, or after a company pays for an acquisition, people always have their like doubts and they think they overpaid or something. But this acquisition makes so much sense.
So much.
Microsoft is moving towards the gaming side. They've stated their ambitions to go into the metaverse, and now they're picking up a key gaming, not only maker, but somebody that's going to be a great partner for them that has been working with them for such a long time. This just seems like it makes so much sense that if they are going to go tackle the metaverse, something from Activision, Blizzard, and Microsoft. Oh man, they're gonna come up with something really cool.
Oh
And
my God.
I think that this right here, you know, you've seen that they've been kind of knocked down. They've been a part of this like sell off from about 340
It tripped.
to yeah, they tripped. Then they got this purchase on hand, and now they're down here. I'm not saying that it's a full on get in now, but like let's take a look at this. I've been buying the dips here, and I've been rocking and rolling with it. I think that if they do get down, they might hit their 200-day moving average, but this is a company that I'm going to want to own going into the future, even if it turns me into an investor and I don't see these short-term returns. This is something that I might not be valuing my rule at, which is the dollar cost average in. You know, when names like this go on sale, you don't really wait around. These are things that are still on track just from like their sales and numbers to grow something like 10, 15% in a year. These are worth like potentially getting in on even on in a high multiple situation and potentially adding to it as it falls because this is going to be a great long-term investment. I have no doubt that wherever we go technology wise, Microsoft's going to lead the way unless they really fumble the bag. And you know, just a quick zoom out
Yeah.
just for you guys that want to see, they don't really fumble the bag. Like they kind of just have this straight growth here from like 140. It's not like they were fumbling bags before that, anyways. They ran from 140. Now they're sitting at up here around $300, and that's just in 2 years.
That's
These boys are golden. They said the price target for this at the end of the year is looking like 360 is on the low side, potentially 400.
oh my gosh.
I'm excited about this, and this is probably my real run through this year. I'm looking to get this like every single takedown. It's a fire sale,
Dang.
so I'm excited.
That's crazy. So you would say Microsoft's definitely something, or in your opinion, uh, it's something that you would add to your portfolio.
100%. Like if you don't have this in there now, you're kind of crazy. You're just
Yeah.
kind of crazy because they're doing big things. I can understand how you wouldn't be in on all the other names that are kind of grouped in with them right now. Apple's kind of really doing nothing. You know, Amazon just got throttled. We saw that they were down a lot, around 8%. These people are down, but like they have so much stuff going for them. And now they're focusing on their gaming side a little bit more. Like they're already like they are so big on the business side of things with their like business enterprise software and stuff that people use that they've already got that covered. Now they're taking on the gaming side of that as well. And I just think that this is too big to miss out on. I'm going to be riding it for the rest of the year and definitely getting in on it at some
That-
points.
So let me ask you something. In
Hmm.
terms of like Microsoft and gaming and whatnot, you know, um, Microsoft owns Xbox, right?
Hmm.
And so like they've been in the gaming sector, for a while now.
Hmm.
So th- what is like, what is the difference here with them acquiring Activision? Why is that like since they've already been in the gaming industry? What is the big like what
Well,
promise?
see, like the thing here is like Microsoft doesn't really develop the games. They kind of
Uh,
develop the system, and then they're like, all right, somebody else develop the games. I don't really know if too many games made by Microsoft, but that might be a thing. Activision, Blizzard, they make the games,
oh yeah,
and like
they in the
think
lab.
about it. You don't even have to like pay for like these games anymore. They're all just upstream. So as soon as they make them in Activision, no payment, they just send them to the head company, Microsoft. Microsoft's able to sell them, skip the like all the like costs of like buying and shipping and selling and all that. They just keep all that middle profit and get it from their lower company. They're probably getting it for way better margins and able to sell games into the future with like higher prices as like other games go higher as well from like Sony, which has also been RIP'd as they make the PlayStation and have actually through this week after hearing this news have been beaten up pretty bad, down around 4 5%.
For Sony.
Yeah. So that's my pick right there. Um Also, that's my
Great book.
retirement. That's my retirement pick right there. Microsoft. If
Wow.
you're just not gonna, if you really want to invest and just be like, all right, let me put a couple, like the rest of my paycheck somewhere and not even think about it, it's Microsoft. You just do that every other month, something like that. Here you go. You're set for the future
You
because,
heard it here.
yeah, I mean, like clear knowledge, but they are great and they're one of my favorite picks, if not the best. My favorite pick for 2022 for the
I would
stock world.
agree. I would agree.
It's,
Definitely.
they're getting beat up right now because of what they're just because of the tech market kind of like falling out, but like
Hmm.
as they like get to their bottom, like I really just think that this is like a great candidate to rip. Not saying so. Off of that advice, I want to let people know that I'm not saying that we should be all in on every single tech name
Right.
coming out of this. You know, I also think like stuff like Google is still possible good investment, but we see top executives selling out of their positions, so I'd be a little hesitant on that one. Just wait. We'll wait it. We'll wait a little bit, and we're dollar cost averaging in this year, but definitely picking our names when we see them.
And so, like in terms of Google, an alternative, I could see something like the browser Brave. It's not super well known, but it's becoming more and more well known as time passes by. And something that's great about that and about the Brave browser is that it literally like you get paid for using it. You get paid in the BAT token, so basic attention token, which is phenomenal. And also you it blocks like ads, it blocks cross-site trackers and other creepy things that are blocked, and that's literally what it says. It says the sites, and then it says and other creepy things. So it's a phenomenal browser if you don't want you know people collecting your information, which is
So I want to blow your mind real quick, and this is just something one
let's
of my
go.
computer science buddies said and talked to me about, is that they are an open source project, meaning that they started on a template, and the template was started by Chromium, which is made by Google. So
Oh,
they are running through Google, they're just doing their own thing. Google wins in the end. Like they have
dang.
all this stuff set up. I'm not afraid of them like going away. Right now, I think what we're seeing in names like Google and some of these other names that are pretty great. I wouldn't be surprised if people in Microsoft start selling out because of just how great things have been. But
Right.
that should say something that top executives aren't selling off Microsoft right now because they just believe they know they got to know when like growth is like here to stay and when it's going. But like Google, some of like their top executives have sold off some of their shares, and it's just like I get it, I get it. You
Right.
wrote this from like 700, 600, something like that. And now it's like worth like nearly 3,000. Like, and
Yeah.
you probably have like thousands of shares. Listen, I get it. So like,
Yeah.
that's just not something I'm worried about because I still see great growth for them in the future, especially with stuff that they're going to be doing, especially this year with the potentials of Waymo, their automatic like driving car, getting more and more closer to coming out
Wow.
and being a competitor to Tesla and stuff like that's a reason that I'm not shying away from them so much. Also, things like Apple coming out with potentially the Apple Car, where they're working on that. We've got some great things to come from these companies. So definitely not dead, not running away entirely, just a little bit of hiding in the bushes per se right now,
Yes.
and just being selective with what we grab.
So that's pretty that's very like not strange, but like interesting that we're seeing what it seems to me is like we're seeing companies starting to infiltrate new industries. You're seeing, like you just said, my Apple with the car, and then Tesla, smartphones, like all these new integrations, Microsoft with gaming, but like actually
And the
it,
metaverse too.
and the metaverse, of course, the metaverse,
Oh yeah.
like it's insane, yeah. And is there speaking of like just the metaverse and everything that is coming that you can't go on the internet without seeing, like in terms of you know Donald Trump, Truth, his social media platform,
Hmm.
Truth Social,
Hmm.
and then Facebook. What do you see there? Like what
We got
competition?
we got True Social coming out February 21st, 2022.
Wow, that's
Isn't that
coming up.
crazy?
Yeah,
I thought this was kind of a joke at first,
me
but no,
too.
they're making this happen, and I'm interested to see what this is all about. I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna definitely give it an overview. And I know people recently have been excited about it. How do I know that? One of the things that they've been trading lately in the market, even though things are getting smoked, is a thing called Digital World Acquisition, which is the Donald Trump SPAC, which is actually going to be running
Wow.
the True Social like account. They are the purchasing company of them through, I'm guessing, Donald Trump. Sure, but they have bought through that, and through 1 week they're up 13%. Through 1 month, DWAC Digital World Acquisition is up 62%, and people are excited.
Right.
That's really what I gotta tell you guys. And I'm thinking this launch will be a little bigger than we even realized because it's got some really big names behind it.
And that makes sense, for people to be excited about this because Donnie T, like whether you hate him or you like him, the
Hmm.
guy, he's good at getting things out there. He's good at
Hmm.
getting what he wants in either into the market, out of the market. He's good at getting people to really hop onto things
And be
and
excited about stuff.
be excited. Yes, exactly. And so like with Facebook and Meta, what I see is like, you know, a, a lot of the people from Web 3.0, they're not they like Meta isn't even really in the conversation when it comes to metaverses. You'll see it on mainstream articles and whatnot,
Hmm.
but like within the Web 3.0 like, ecosystem, it's not even a it's not even a thing. Like
And one of the points because of that to that is like people are getting on stuff like that to avoid them
exactly.
because they hate how they like take their information and do whatever they want with it.
Censor people.
Yeah, and it's really just speaks towards like the free spirit of like people that like those like these
America.
projects of like the metaverse. You can get out there and be whoever, and nobody's like spying on you. It's great to get away from them, and I just think that the Facebook has their push towards a metaverse, and I'm not saying I actually own a little bit of Facebook, but it's just a small amount, and I think it's just in case the like stock does well with like the metaverse, and I think
Yeah,
they could get a pump from that because like
of
EV
course.
companies when they say they're going to be doing an electric car are going to be doing better. They're doing the technology side of that and saying we're going to be doing a metaverse.
Right.
So they did that, and we'll see what they kind of come up with. Probably something very strange, and even their ads right now are so strange. Like they're
So strange.
it's like yeah, it's super creepy. And just like it's not for me. I want something like Solana where it's sleek,
Yes.
stylish, and you feel like at peace with it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Something cute like portals. Like
Hmm.
what in our last episode we showed a Solana metaverse
Hmm.
called Portals. It's like it just gives that, I like that vibe.
Hmm.
I want to be able to walk around, chat with my friends, but I don't want to be hooked up to a machine. And I'm not saying that eventually that's not where it's going to go.
Hmm.
But as of right now, like, this is for a lot of people, this is very, and most people, this is very new, complicated stuff.
Hmm.
So it's intimidating for people to be like, if Portals, for example, was just like, yeah, you know what, we're just gonna go all in. We're gonna get you got in order to do this, you gotta get this freaking big thing that you cover your face with, and then you're in the metaverse. Like no, like I want to ease my way into it.
Yeah, don't need to get absolutely wild with it and start planning how you're gonna live the rest of your life in there.
Right. And it's weird because you see that, like, we're seeing that with articles. It's like, and you'll hear people talk like, oh, yeah, like this metaverse, like scary stuff. It's like, like people are just going to be, they're just going to be living in their VR worlds. And it's just like, wait, no, it's not, stop listening to Mark Zuckerberg. That's
Yeah.
a not what we're going for.
Right, we're going for something a little bit more stylish that's like, creative in a reality that we can be comfortable with.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean, and I think, going back to True Social, I think I'm excited to see what uh, Donnie T has planned for that in terms of, you know, integration into the metaverse.
Hmm.
Who knows, you know?
I mean, funny enough, but this is already under the DWAC holding. They're already worth $3 billion valuation.
Oh my gosh, that's
People
nuts.
are coming into that crazy fast.
Because, and I feel like part of that is definitely because, Facebook, like, dude, Facebook's reputation right now is in the gutter.
Oh yeah, one of the worst. So I can see why people are trying to get away from that. But also brings me to kind of like some of the next things that we're going to be talking about is how people kind of just want to get away in general, and
Hmm.
that means stuff like the metaverse, and that means stuff like NFTs. So Johnny, what have you been seeing on that side of it?
I mean, geez, there is so much going down in the NFT space right now. It's nuts. I mean, Roy, our last episode, I believe we showed a superlative ape,
Hmm.
which is now an NFT that both of Roy's podcast hosts own.
Hmm.
And, you know, something we talked about was, how do you choose the NFTs you want to get?
Hmm.
And well, and if you listen to, yeah, you may not like him. His name's Gary V. I'm sure you guys have heard of him.
Hmm.
But he's smart. He has good points to what he says when it comes to NFTs. And something that he emphasizes, like, do you like it? Even Logan Paul, he emphasizes, like, you want to buy, and people obviously huge. You want to buy the things that you think look cool, you like it. Don't buy it just because everyone else is like, oh yeah, like, let's get this because the royalties or blah blah blah. Like, no, it's what do you like?
Hmm.
Because in the end, you know, you got to think about utility. You got to think about, is it a utility NFT or is it art?
Hmm.
And or is it both? So there's a lot of different things to go, but the biggest thing is community. And in the Discord for Superlative Apes, the community is the best community I've ever been a part of on Discord. Like,
Hmm.
everyone's so helpful, so nice, and they've always got like new things coming for it. So, like, recently, Superlative Apes, they are making a serum for there to be mutant Superlative Apes,
Hmm.
which is, that's awesome.
Hmm.
And so, actually, I feel like I should show our audience what exactly is a superlative ape if you don't know.
Hmm.
So this is one this is the one I own.
Hmm.
Um, 359. He's got a little kazoo, as you guys can see, and you
Hmm.
can check the properties. And so what I mean by, you know, the don't buy it just based off of the rarity is, like, you know don't buy it because I didn't buy this because it had, like, because that kazoo right there was 0.99% have it. Like, no, I bought it because I like the way everything about this looks.
Hmm.
And it's, and it's not like a super rare one, but I bought this at 0.25. Look at these offers, and it's not even listed. I'm already above, for $1,198. Someone's offering for this. And I bought this for 0.25 Ethereum. That's 0.38. And the other week, I had an offer for zero point 0.9, almost a full Ethereum. And Roy, I know you also had an offer for above 1 ETH.
Yeah, these things have been kind of flying off the shelf. I myself, after getting that was my first NFT, and it's kind of been crazy how fast like I've been getting offers for it.
It's nuts. I mean, it is nuts. And look at this. This is a solid, you know, uh, activity chart to
Hmm.
show you, like, how popular these have been getting. And the fact, I mean, look at this. These are like recent sales. So 0.55, 0.61, 0.7, 0.56, 1.1. like, Superlative Apes are really getting traction, and I think it's important to, like, it's not like me and Roy were like looking for we weren't like looking like, oh, like what's the next best NFT? I saw this, I was like, this looks cool. I showed Roy. Roy's like,
Hmm.
yeah, this is cool.
Hmm.
We got one. What do you know? It's worth more than what we got it for.
Hmm.
And they weren't even verified when we got them. But like, we were in the Discord, we saw that, a lot of they were a great community. They they followed through with the things they said they were going to do,
Hmm.
and now we're just reaping the benefits, really. And the coolest thing about it is it's a mixture of the Doodles and Bored Ape Yacht Club. I think, and I
One
love.
of the top two biggest projects going on right now.
Yes, correct. Top two biggest projects. And that also leads me to this. So this is another one I own. It's called Society of Derivative Apes. And they are also kind of a mixture of the same thing, but they look more like the Doodles NFT.
Hmm.
And if you go to their page, see, they're not verified, and the floor price is 0.08 Ethereum. So I got it decently cheap, but I don't see any reason why these wouldn't go up as well. I'm not saying to buy one. I'm not saying any of that. As you can see, there was some hype back here, but that was when they were first released.
Hmm.
And then, it kind of just, was a standstill. But now we see that little jump right there, right?
Hmm.
That's a good indicator that it's going to be pretty soon. These things are going to continue to rise. And I say that not based off of just this chart, but based off of the Twitter spaces that I've been joining. So
Hmm.
I've been joining, Twitter spaces, and I'll see the people in the Twitter spaces have the Society of Derivative Apes as, their NFT, as their profile image.
Hmm.
Uh, so, and verified people. So there's so many little factors that you really want to look at when you're looking at into these kinds of projects.
Hmm. And especially getting one that you like.
Yes,
That's got to be like the biggest thing.
that is
You know,
key.
with the price aside, make sure you like it. We're not just telling you to get in on that society because
Yeah,
we're like it's going up. Get
yeah,
in on it because you're like, man, what a cool project. I want to be involved. And then
exactly.
find one. Kind of seems hard to do, but just find one that you're like pleased with. Like
Yeah,
look for a good price though.
exactly. And you know what? Maybe we can show the audience real quick, just
Hmm.
kind of like how you can find a good one like that.
Hmm.
Based off of just going onto OpenSea. And right now we're just talking about Ethereum
Hmm.
NFTs. We haven't even touched the Solana NFTs yet. But Roy, can you see the screen?
Yep.
All right. So a good way to, figure out how, what NFTs are going to be on the come up is obviously you can go to stats, and then you would go to rankings or activity.
Hmm.
I like to go to activity, and then I always choose the Ethereum chain because those are the main ones. And as you can see, these are some of the NFTs that have been recently sold and whatnot. And it looks like this one, Cool Cats NFT. This is huge. Look at their floor price,
Wow.
11.6, right? And
Dang.
yeah, it's nuts.
11.6 Ethereum?
Yes, correct.
Holy smokes.
And I love this. I like the way this looks. I think it looks cute. I think it looks, it's just funny. It's cool. And I don't even know what the royalties or any of that is for it, but like I like it. And it
Hmm.
says, so Cool Cats is a collection of 9,999 randomly generated and stylistically curated NFTs that exist on the Ethereum blockchain. Cool Cat holders can participate in exclusive events such as NFT claims, raffles, community giveaways, and more. So remember, all cats are cool, but some are cooler than others. And the coolest cat around is Lumpy Cat. Don't forget it.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, and you know, that's one way to do it. Look at the activity, and also someone that I like to go to look for. So I like find the big NFT collectors or artists, and this guy's name is Pranksy.
Hmm.
He's a huge NFT collector. He's well known. You go to their activity, and then it's like, oh wow, okay, so these are all good, right? No, not necessarily, because just because it's either minted or transferred to Pranksy doesn't necessarily mean that Pranksy went out of his way to get it. You can mint,
Hmm.
an NFT to someone famous and they'll just receive it. You can send whatever you want to anyone. So the way to avoid, a scam or something like that, or like just a shitty NFT, is to like get not click on transfers, have sales, listings, and bids. So you can see what Pranksy is bidding on, right? So
Hmm.
Pranksy recently, um, he bought an X Rabbit. I don't know what an X Rabbit is, but let's
Well, it
see.
looks like he paid
Yeah,
very nicely for it.
point 0.6 floor price.
Wow.
Okay, and he's probably bought it recently because it's looking like a dip.
It's on the dip.
And let's see,
Wow.
it came out on January 16th or 15th. So, it's a new thing. So who
Wow.
knows?
This is a very new project. Okay.
Right. And look, they're verified. And so that's kind of like a good
Dang.
way. Yeah, these are good ways to determine, uh oh, and look at them. Look at these cute little guys.
Those are cute.
But yeah, so there's a lot of different ways that you can go about finding good NFTs.
Hmm.
But honestly, it's all about just doing the research, uh, looking up videos about, and you know what? We'll upload a tutorial one day, someday soon actually, just on
Hmm.
the process of what we go through when we choose the NFTs we want to buy.
Right.
Now, speaking of NFTs, let's go to the main hub that we love so much,
Hmm.
Solana NFTs.
Big
Now,
fact.
Roy, like what was the first NFT you ever bought? Was it on what blockchain?
It was through Solana.
It was through Solana, and tra- because of what? Like
I hate paying for the high gas fees.
exactly, everyone does. It's
I thought I might be alone, but I thought,
yeah,
who would have thought, paying less is better?
yeah. Wow, shocker there,
Shocker.
right?
Mm.
And so, uh, Solana is just you'll see people saying like you know Ethereum, because there's not weird people. Well, yeah, weird people. You know what? Yeah, weird. They're weird because they'll be like diehard Ethereum NFT collectors or diehard Solana NFT collectors. And the fact of the matter is, it's like just dabble with both. Like
Hmm.
there's no reason to exclude one just because like it's not like you're some NFL team and you're from Detroit and you really want the Lions to win, even though they're always losing, and you're going to bet on them every time
Hmm.
but you'll lose your money. Like, you wanna, explore. That's what this
Hmm.
whole thing is about. Everyone's exploring,
Hmm.
and so, in terms of Solana NFTs, Solana Art is like my favorite exchange personally.
Hmm.
Magic Eden, and but the thing is, they're coming out with more and more and more Solana NFT exchanges, along with apps that you can download on your phone to trade or to list and sell your Solana NFTs, to view them, all this cool stuff. Like they don't really have that for Ethereum right now. Like Solana is kind of adapting quicker than Ethereum,
Hmm.
and it's because of the scalability.
Right.
And and something we talked about a little on the last episode was Slope. And
Hmm.
Slope is it's a it's a wallet, yes, and it's also a Solana ecosystem. So basically, you can see all of the DeFi, the D apps for Solana on it,
Hmm.
and use them. And then you can also, liquidity pools, Raydium, which is huge, for liquidity pools, staking, farming, and these are all things that highly suggest you look into
Hmm.
because I can't explain all of this on a podcast. But
A
it
lot
makes
going on.
yeah, it makes you money. Put it that way.
And it's really slick, isn't it?
It's super slick. so slick and sly,
Hmm. And
slick.
easy to use.
Yeah, easy to
Hell yeah.
use. Exactly. And
Hmm.
so it's hard to keep track of NFTs, What are the
Hmm.
profits? What did I buy it at? I forget.
Hmm.
What is the floor price right now?
Hmm.
Well, a little something that just recently kind of came out is called Solfolio.
Hmm.
And this is now people, this is absolutely wild because it's not it's not even like I'm pretty sure they have under 1,000 followers on Twitter. Like this is literally brand new. And so you can input your wallet address. Uh, and this is the wallet that I use just to hold my some of my Solana NFTs. And if you look, like total estimated portfolio value,
Hmm.
64.88 Solana. And that is taken into account not just like the whole not it doesn't take just the collection and then, uh base it off of like the overall thing. It takes your NFT that you are holding, how rare it is, based off of the attributes and the properties, and what its estimated value is. So you
Hmm.
know what to sell it at. So, for example, this Deegan Ape right here.
Ooh.
This boy. He's a sexy looking one. This guy. He's very rare. He's ranked, I believe, 19 out of all of the Deegan apes. So that's pretty high.
Hmm.
Now, I forget what the purchase price was, but it wasn't high. It was like, I think I minted it. So either I forget, to be honest, if I minted it or bought it, but it wasn't expensive. The floor price is 1.6, but for this one, its estimated value is about 19.5 Solana.
Ooh.
So my
Wow.
profit is 19.50 Solana.
Hmm.
Like that's huge,
Yeah. What a steal.
right? And it's crazy too because not only that, like these little guys, for example, Genesis Zombies.
Hmm.
This is a strange collection, and I bought it based off of, specifically because I liked the way it uh, looked, and it's a collection of. So there's a collection called Solana Monkey Business,
Hmm.
and it's the most expensive Solana NFT collection out there.
Hmm.
And so there's been a lot of like collections made to resemble it.
Hmm.
And there's one called Solana Zombie Business or Zombie Monkey Business. That's what it is.
Hmm.
And then they took that and they they made a collection of 666, the mark of the beast, or that's the devil's number, Satan's number. It's that that dark magic,
Hmm.
and they made this collection. And so I bought this because it was super cheap. I thought it looked cool. And I was like, I like the concept behind it. It's very simple. And wouldn't you know it, look, like it may not be much right now, but like I, if I were to, if I wanted to sell this, I could profit 3 Solana,
Hmm.
like
So, how one question I'm having is like, how long do you have to hold it for,
you don't,
on average, before you see a profit?
that's the thing. You hold, like, so it'll shift up and down, like,
Hmm.
depending on, how Solana's doing in the market, how, how the collection itself is doing in the market. So
Hmm.
that's just a nice portfolio to have,
Hmm.
and to
That's
view
a
them.
beautiful portfolio. Congrats, man. You're really
Oh,
killing it.
absolutely.
That's
I
a
mean,
You're killing it with that. There's a lot of profit in there.
oh well, thank you, man. But
Johnny really knows how to do it.
I'm Lumpy Cat.
Hell yeah.
but
Cat around.
hell yeah, dude. But that's the thing, like you guys can all have everyone here can have access to a Solfolio. It's free,
Hmm.
which is the best part. So if you just start, collecting, some Solana NFTs, it's a great what would it be, utility. It's a great
Hmm.
utility to have.
Tool. Yeah.
Yeah, tool to have to track this because up until that, I had no idea. I was
Hmm.
like, because I'll forget how much I bought it for. and I'll flip it, and I'll know that I made money from it, but I don't know how much. This keeps track of that, which
Nice.
is great. And so these kinds of things that are coming out for Solana, their NFT space in particular, are huge because
Mm-hmm.
we're seeing celebrities move into the Solana NFT space away from Ethereum. Um, and even, I was listening to a Twitter space today. I highly suggest people start doing that. Hop
Mm-hmm.
in Twitter spaces regarding NFTs. You never know what you're going to find. And
Mm-hmm.
here, and it's also a good way to connect with people because, for example, me and Roy, we are uh, somewhat of a in cahoots with Meerkat Millionaires,
Mm-hmm.
which is a blue chip Solana NFT collection, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were the first Solana NFT collection to distribute 100% royalties to their holders, to people who mint
Damn.
it, right? And so here's the crazy part. You know, with every NFT collection, there's going to be ups and downs. But with Meerkat Millionaires, now it is completely community driven. It's completely owned. It's, a DAO. It is
Mm-hmm.
a DAO. And the cool thing about a DAO is that you get to be a part of determining where the collection goes. Are we going to have it, you know, like how are royalties going to be distributed? What are the collaborations, partnerships that we're going to form? And you know, you can like I just hopped in there and I just had some good ideas. I said them. I just chatted. I was like, "Hey, this is a good suggestion or whatever." Next thing you know, I have a role on their Discord as the external communications. Like, and
Wow.
so yeah, and so like it's just funny because it just goes to show like if you just go in to their discords into an NFT's discord and you believe in the project, you like the art, and maybe you think you're seeing that the community could be better, that it and you have ideas for it to become better and
Mm-hmm.
grow. Don't be afraid to chat and say what you think. Like a lot of people think, oh, like I'm not like a developer, I don't know any. It's like me neither, man. But if you freaking just don't be don't let fear of people saying something like you know just there's always
Like
those people.
harsh.
Yeah, harsh. Yeah, don't be afraid of getting harsh criticism because the fact of the matter is, with a collection like Meerkat Millionaires, you own just as much of that as that person
Mm-hmm.
because you hold one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's it really comes down to community in the
Right.
end. Community is huge. And on that, I want to say one more thing called Radium. I
Mm-hmm. You
believe
talked
we
about that earlier a little bit.
a little bit, yes. So Radium is like me and Roy have known about it for a while now,
Mm-hmm.
but just I feel like it seems like a common trend here now that we're always knowing about things a little before everyone else,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of trips us up in a way because at the time, we'll be pumped, and then like there's like a standstill
Mm-hmm.
almost, and then people, if like for example, Evergrow coin, it's a great example. We were in on that early, hype, 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 and then hype happened, and then it dropped. That's the
Mm-hmm.
cycle. That's the life cycle of a crypto a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then, also contributing to that was the crash of the market, of the crypto market.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been very bearish, very bearish. And now what they're doing in terms of Evergrow coin, I'm going to get off that real quick, like off of this. But I just want to say, in terms of what they're doing is, you look at their roadmap, they're releasing their subscription platform, Crater,
Mm-hmm.
this month. They're going to have NFT lending. Uh, and they have live AMA sessions where you can talk with them about it. So it's like be involved.
Big
like
growth, big growth ahead for EGC.
big growth. And but for a while, people were probably like when it was dropping, they're like, these boys podcasts, what the hell, man? like like you just but it's like that's why you hold. You want to hold, especially if it's such a new project and you
Hmm.
bought in and it just dropped. Like if you sell, you lost profits.
Hmm.
Just hold. Just hold and see what happens, especially if
Yeah,
you believe in it.
big
But
facts.
going back to Radium, we knew about it for a while now.
Hmm.
It's a Solana, or here, I'll share my screen. It is a Solana powered blockchain. The avenue, an avenue for the evolution of DeFi, light speed swaps, next level liquidity, frictionless yield. A lot of people are probably wondering, well, what the hell does that mean? Well, it means a lot of things. Okay, so you can trade. It's an exchange. You earn yield through fees and yield farms. Uh, Pools like liquidity pools provide liquidity for any uh, SPL token, Solana pool, like so SPL. Kind of forgetting what that
Hmm.
stands for, but Solana. And then Accelerator, launchpad for new Solana projects. So this is great, and you can read the docs. We're not going to get into the docs because that's you know something you do on your own time. And but this is very cool because you can swap out basically any Solana token for any. There are a lot of Solana based tokens, and
Hmm.
these are some of the liquidity pools, right? So USDC is probably the number one uh pairing, like token that is paired with with whatever liquidity pool is hosting. So whether it be
Hmm.
Avalanche or Solana,
Because
or
it's
because it's stable. Exactly. And you can earn good returns, but it's cool also because Radium acts as an exchange, and something like this, for example, Polis, which is a part of this upcoming metaverse for Solana,
hmm.
Star Atlas, and Radium, like you know, you can earn a lot of liquidity, or a lot of what's the word? A lot of
Like
profits.
yield.
Yeah,
Yeah, yield.
yield, a lot of yield. But here's the great thing: not only can you make money from the liquidity pool, once you pair the tokens, so you buy the tokens first. So I would go to swap, I would buy, Polis, and I would also buy Radium with Solana. Let's say.
Hmm.
Then I would go over to here and I would input the equivalent amount of Polis and Radium so that they're the same, like in terms of monetary value. And then I do this, and then down here you would see, okay, I have this LP token, which would be these two combined. Then from there you would go to farms. Now this is where a lot of people don't understand. Like this is kind of like a next step. So you would go to let's find it on here. Well, whatever. I can't. It's somewhere on here. But I'm not.
Hmm.
We'll just use this for example.
Okay.
AART and Radium. So
Okay.
AART is a token that if you go on SolSea, which is an NFT exchange, it's something that you can use now for um both, like if you want to upload your NFT and you want to list it, a, holding AART. Oh, look at there's Meerkats right there. But holding AART, you're able to stake it when you list the NFT for sale. So when you list the NFT for sale, by doing that, you have it like puts your sale at the front and it highlights it in gold. So
Wow.
yeah, so it's like more of an incentive for people to buy it, right?
Mm.
And by doing that, I'm sorry, I just described basically what ART is. But what the farm is you're taking the liquidity pool tokens that you got. So say instead of Polis, we did AART and Radium. Say
Hmm.
we have some of that. Well, we can put that in here into the farm and then stake it. So we're staking the liquidity pool tokens, right?
Hmm.
So not so it's like double it's double uh revenue, like it's just more ways to profit. And it's cool because you harvest. This is the great part. If you just invest into a liquidity pool, then you just have to wait and hope, and then just slowly see the profits build. But if you put them into a farm, you can harvest rewards like instantly, claim rewards. It's like Wonderland times.
Hmm.
You know how you can claim rewards before it's fully, vested?
Hmm.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing, but on Solana. Like Solana is coming out with these insane staking protocols, anything you guys can think of. Ethereum, Binance, Avalanche, freaking Phantom. It's just when with Solana, it's different. It is so different because it's like it doesn't even need them almost.
Hmm.
It's just an ecosystem of its own, which is amazing. And they're calling it the new like it's gonna be the new it's the visa of blockchain because
Damn.
it's so quick. Yeah. So, a lot of things to look forward to with Solana. Don't so if my opinion, Solana, I mean, I think the the sky is the limit, really. You know, like I just don't see anything getting in their way. Yeah, people will say the proof of history can make it slow down and the transaction fees and whatnot, but that's the whole thing. They're able to scale, so they can improve always. Like unlike Ethereum, where where is ETH 2.0? I would love for it to come out, but it's just not. It's just not coming out yet, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that Solana.
It's big, and it's definitely something that we got to keep in mind going forward.
Yes, I agree 100%. The last thing, FTX. I'm not really going to go into it too much, but just FTX is a big exchange. It's getting bigger. They're
Hmm.
growing huge because they have both Solana and Ethereum NFT marketplaces, and you can trade both Solana tokens and Ethereum tokens, which is it's massive. Like
Hell yeah.
you know, so
Hmm.
FTX, check it out for sure.
Good stuff.
Oh, you can launch your own collection on there as well.
Heck yeah.
hmm And Roy's podcast, as a matter of fact, will be launching a little mini collection just for, our people in the Discord. If
Hmm.
you're in the Discord, you'll get a cool little spinning Roy's podcast token that will have, we haven't decided yet you know, what cool little like what are they called? Like fun like rewards basically you would get for holding it.
Hmm.
Certain VIP things. You
Right.
know, maybe it'll be like an exclusive private chat in the Discord that you can be a part of.
Hmm.
So, where we talk about some stuff that, you know, we're not necessarily going to talk about on here because we're not financial advisors.
Right.
But yeah,
Good stuff. Good stuff to come in the next days ahead. So.
fantastic stuff. So watch out. You never know, you know. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
I'm excited as well, and I can't wait to see what comes next for these guys.
Yeah, for real. I'm excited for the metaverse, Microsoft,
Hmm.
to see what they're gonna do. Also, we see China up there in the sandbox, purchasing some land.
Hmm.
So
Everybody wants in.
everyone wants in. Taiwan, we got Taiwan down below.
And Hong
Literally,
Kong under China.
yeah, literally.
And
Like,
it's kind of funny how it's like designed in there.
I agree. So make sure you check out. Uh, I'll put a link to our land,
Hmm.
and we want a community. We want our community. We want a Roy's investments, Roy's podcast, like parcel of land, which we already have the land. We want to be able to use it for our community so that we can all benefit and reap the rewards, you know, so it's not like we just have to rent it out to make money. I want,
Hmm.
we want real utility there. We want people to be excited to go there, you know, whether it be, and any ideas, let us know.
Hmm.
Like, because, and if you're happen to be a developer, a coder or whatnot, love to hear what, anything you think of. Download Vox Edit. That's very helpful. We
Hmm.
need, and yeah,
And that's about all we got for you guys today. If there's any last minute questions, speak now or hold your peace.